Hey, how's it going? It is Monday evening. It is 9 o'clock. It's getting kind of late, but it's never too late to meditate. Yes, I did just come up with that. So I have had a little bit of a disappointing day. I don't know what kind of day you have had. If it's been a really tremendous day or a not so tremendous day, or maybe somewhere in between. But I imagine that there might be something that is stressing you out. So what I thought we could do, really, if you haven't picked up by now on these Meditation Mondays, for the five of you who watch them, five is actually pretty generous. But for those of you who watch them, really, I just kind of do whatever it is that I think will benefit me, because I do genuinely practice meditation, and it is really helpful and beneficial for me. So I just kind of do this on camera, and if anybody wants to join me, then they're welcome to. Hopefully, this benefits you, especially if you're experiencing some stress. So we're going to start with our breath work. And then we'll just kind of go into some thoughts and some thinking. And meditation uh, is a combination of mindfulness, which we would say is taking every thought captive, but then would be laying it in the hands of Yahweh, whatever those thoughts are, just laying them in His hands, just continuously, as you practice the discipline of meditation. So we're going to do that. We're going to do that about what's stressing us out. So go ahead and close your eyes. Actually, you don't have to close them yet, because I'm going to do some explaining. Whenever you breathe, whenever we do this breath work, breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth or your nose. It doesn't matter. We're going to breathe in for a certain count, 2 or 3, and then we'll breathe out for twice as long. So we'll breathe out for a count of 4 or 6. Whenever you breathe in, you want to push your belly out so that you are filling in the bottom part of your lungs first with air and then filling up. That way you get a nice full breath. If you have a hard time doing these breath works, it's because you're probably not getting the bottom part of your lungs filled first. So we're going to expand our belly as we breathe in, fill up our lungs, and then we're going to breathe out. And yeah, just don't force anything. Just let it happen. So go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to breathe in for a count of 2 and then out for 4. Ready? In for 2, out for 4, 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 in for 2, and out for 4, in for 2. Hold it. Out for 4. Hold it. In for 3. Out for 6. 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 In for 3. Hold it. Out for 6. Hold it. In for 3. Out for 6. Okay, keep your eyes closed and you can breathe normally now. I want you to think about whatever that is that has you stressed out, whatever that circumstance or the season might be, or the person, uh, the place, whatever it is that stresses you out. I want you to think about it. And as you think about it, you're going to have all these thoughts that pop up in your head, and all these ideas maybe that pop up in your head. And it will be very easy for you to latch yourself onto those ideas or those thoughts and to begin thinking that those thoughts are you. But those thoughts are not you. You are the one observing the thoughts. And this is where I think we'll find a lot of freedom. So don't latch yourself to the thoughts. I'm going to give you some time to just think the thoughts freely. Don't latch yourself to them. Don't attach to the thoughts. Don't attach to the ideas. Don't make the error of thinking that you are the idea or that you are the thoughts. You are the one who is sitting in the seat of consciousness observing the thoughts. So just observe them. Don't fight them. Don't try to deny them. Don't try to push them away. Even if it's a really bad thought, just observe it. So go ahead and do that now. What is it that stresses you out? And let yourself think freely. And just observe the thoughts. If you need more time to run with those thoughts, if you need more time to run with those ideas and just see what happens, see what trail they go down. Again, you're not the thought. So often, whenever we experience something that stresses us out, we think, oh, I'm just whatever, a failure, or I'm just such an anxious person, or I'm such a loser, or I just am so worthless. All these ideas, all these thoughts that come into our head. What we're doing is we're looking at a situation that stresses us out, and instead of just having the thoughts, we then latch ourselves to them, and we then identify with the thoughts. You are not a loser. You are not worthless. You're not a failure. You're none of those things. I'm none of those things. But we attach ourselves to them. But there's freedom in just observing them and just seeing them and just watching the thoughts. And that's all we're doing right now. So taking the time to just watch the thoughts. So if you need more time to do that, then pause the video. Like if you're watching it live, you can't pause the video, just turn me off and then come back later and watch the rest of it. But just spend some time, let your thoughts run wild and just observe them. Again, you're in the presence of Yahweh. Yahweh is with you, observing your thoughts with you. You're in a safe place. It's okay. Even if they're really bad thoughts, just observe them. Don't attach yourself to them. Just observe them. Have the freedom to do that. But hopefully you have done that to some extent. So now I want you to go back and to think about all the things that you thought and that you had the tendency to attach yourself to. So for me, it could be thoughts of failure or thoughts of embarrassment or thoughts of things like that. Those are things that came up whenever I was just observing my thoughts, and it was really easy for me to attach myself to them. I'm an embarrassment. I'm a failure. I'm this. I'm that. But there's freedom again in observing them and just realizing, okay, no, I'm not. But I'm observing that I'm thinking this, and I can acknowledge that I'm thinking this. And it's really easy at that point. If you're just the observer, not the one who thinks that you are the thought, but if you're just the observer, it's really easy at that point to just lay it in the hands of Yahweh. Because Yahweh knew what was going to happen to stress you out before you did, and yet Yahweh placed you in the situation that you've been placed. And I believe that that was done for your betterment, for my betterment. So whatever those thoughts were that we tend to latch ourselves to, the one who is observing, which is you, you're not the thought. The one who is observing now has the freedom to just let those thoughts rest in the hand of Yahweh. And if they stick around inside your head too, that's okay. Yahweh's inside your head. He's there. Like Yahweh's right there with you. You can just lay it down in his hands. The longer that you practice this, the more often you practice this, the easier it gets. It might be difficult now, but the more you practice it, the easier it gets to realize, okay, I'm not the one who is that thought. I'm the one who's having that thought. I can then rest that thought in the hands of Yahweh. You can go ahead and open your eyes now. If you have watched this and that made absolutely no sense to you, then that's okay. You can message me and talk to me and say, hey, that didn't make any sense. I need you to explain that a little bit more. But it has been incredibly freeing to me, for me to realize that I am not my thoughts. That I am me, and I am the one who observes the thoughts. I'm the one who has the thoughts. I'm not the one who is the thoughts. So identifying that, having the thought that I'm anything is so easy. I mean, it goes both ways, really, good or bad. Anytime that you get puffed up with pride, it's easy. Once you practice this more and more, it's easy to identify, okay, I'm the one who's thinking this, but I'm not that. It just balances you out. It's really, really awesome. So if it made no sense, you can message me, talk to me about it. You can message Crystal, ask her. But I hope it made enough sense for it to be a blessing to you. So yeah, that's it for Meditation Monday. Go in peace and